The Bloodline story took another interesting turn this week, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also check out what's going on with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and more. Starting things off with the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa was joined inside the ring by his entire Bloodline, and the first thing he addressed was Roman Reigns. Solo said that the OTC was done. He told the fans they can keep chanting for Roman, but that he's not here because of what the Bloodline did to him when they took him out with a 3-on-1 attack. So it appears that WWE is using the Bloodline's attack as a storyline reasoning for Roman missing a couple of shows. Roman's next scheduled WWE appearance was previously scheduled to be September 13th, but there was some uncertainty around that date because Roman keeps getting added to the advertisements for September 13th, but keeps getting removed from them as well. So it doesn't seem fully confirmed anymore, but September 13th is at least a date to watch out for. But there is a confirmed public appearance date for Roman Reigns that's coming up long before the September 13th show. It was just announced that Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman will be appearing together in New York City for the Power Players event on September 5th. So that's a confirmed non-WWE appearance, but still an appearance that may show us Roman and Heyman together in the public eye again for the first time since April. There was that picture of the both of them backstage at SummerSlam, and Heyman has even been seen backstage at some recent editions of Raw, but we haven't seen those two together in front of everyone in nearly 5 months, which is pretty insane to think about. So that's one event to watch out for, and maybe Roman and Heyman will come back together just a week after that on September 13th. Roman was just taken out by the Bloodline, so he should absolutely take this time right now to be making some moves and adjustments behind the scenes. He realizes he can't do this alone, and is probably gathering Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso up right now to start up his plan B. And once it's revealed that maybe even though that's not enough, maybe that's when Jay and Sami start heading into the picture as the next plan after that. But there's so much to look forward to there from Roman. We saw him at SummerSlam and a few episodes of SmackDown, but we're yet to even hear him speak a single word on the current Bloodline situation. So hopefully if he does appear again sometime in September, hopefully some words can be exchanged between Roman and Solo, so we can get even more insight on how both sides feel. But getting back to Solo's promo, Roman was the main thing he wanted to talk about, but he also addressed two more big things after Roman. Solo revealed that he hadn't given up on his goal of bringing back the WWE title to his family. He said that whoever walks out of Bash in Berlin as WWE champion will have to deal with him right after and defend the title against him. But we don't know how true that statement is, because it doesn't look like Solo Sikoa has got any clearance or confirmation about that from Nick Aldis. He just went out there and declared that he should get another WWE Championship match. So we'll see how Solo's statement holds up after Bash in Berlin. But it just doesn't seem like he'll be getting another title match anytime soon. But that's still his goal. He's still obsessed with bringing the WWE title back to the Bloodline. The third and big, very interesting thing that Solo Sikoa addressed was the tag team titles. The tag team titles were brought back to the Bloodline pretty much single-handedly by Jacob Fatu. But in this moment, Solo told Jacob to step forward and hand him over his tag team titles. But Solo changed his mind and instead told Jacob to hand it over directly to Tonga Loa. Solo explained this decision by saying that he can't have his personal bodyguard and enforcer walking around as a tag team champion. So he stripped Jacob of the title so that Jacob can fully focus on enforcer duties. And Jacob initially looked pretty confused and upset with that move by Solo, but he still doesn't question it. Jacob hands the title over, hugs Solo, and yells about how much he loves Solo. So everything still appears to be good there for the time being. But fans still can't help but wonder if this entire act of Solo Sikoa basically stripping Jacob of that title that he rightfully earned will come back to bite Solo in the future. Is this being done to already build up some tension there between Jacob and Solo? Maybe even build some fan sympathy for Jacob, since he was just stripped of his first ever piece of WWE Championship gold, just because his baby cousin said so. It definitely plays with your head and makes you really wonder about what was the deeper reasoning and the real seeds that were being planted there with that whole act of stripping Jacob of the title. And this act by Solo also shows you the difference in Roman and Solo's leadership as tribal chief. When Roman was in charge, he didn't care what the Bloodline members did, as long as they always won and kept bringing in the gold. Roman never stripped anyone of any title within his group, or moved titles around at all. If you won a title within the Bloodline, it was yours. Even when Solo was the Bloodline's enforcer and won the North American title, Roman did immediately go up to him and strip him of that title because of enforcer duties. Roman allowed him to rock out with it. So for Solo to now be in charge and stripping someone of a title within the family that they rightfully earned, it's pretty messed up. Jacob is probably realizing that winning any championship gold in WWE is to put it on hold right now because Solo Sikoa won't allow him to do so. So it just makes you wonder, how long will Jacob deal with these circumstances until he's had enough and snaps on Solo? Because it definitely feels like that's the main seed that's being planted there. The theories of Jacob Fatu being a spy for Roman Reigns didn't turn out to be true, but the theories of Jacob potentially converting to Roman's side still isn't out of the realm of possibility. Especially if Jay and Sammy are not coming over anytime soon. If Jacob converts over to Roman's side, that'll make the fight between the Bloodline pretty fair and equal. Because at that point, it'll be Roman, Jimmy, and Jacob versus Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tongaloa. A pretty fair 3-on-3 situation, where it looks like, at least on paper, that Roman's squad will have the upper hand. So that's another potential route there to explore. But getting back to the tag team title defense from the Tongas against the Street Profits, things were looking pretty disastrous for the Bloodline in that tag team title defense. It ended up taking Jacob Fatu, who's not even in the match, and in a walking boot to get involved with some outside interference to basically still grant the win and successful title defense for the Bloodline. So even when he's not in the match and not a tag team champion anymore, Jacob is still the saving grace and is still pretty much defending the titles for the family. So of course, the main center of attention right now is on Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. But definitely don't sleep on what appears to be the B story here, and that's Solo versus Jacob. Because that's a very interesting dynamic that's happening there. Solo probably sees the potential in Jacob Fatu to just break out on his own, but Solo will try to break him and keep him in line as much as possible, so the breakout doesn't happen. That's why he stripped him of his title, just so that he can stop Jacob from climbing up the mountain too fast and surpassing him. Just keeping Jacob in line and not letting him fully roam freely. So we'll see where this story goes to next, but it's absolutely heating up even more. What are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.